Yeah.
You didn't tell me you were going to hit the live button.
I got you.
I might have been picking my nose or something.
I said I was going live. You all weren't listening. Hello, everybody. We're here today with Rikostan. He is our guest for today. We already have Patty, Adele, S, Lunatic Fringe. That's pretty much it right now. Oh, we got Petro Man. Hello, buddy. So I asked Rico to come up and be a guest, and he was kind enough to say yes. He was not paid to do this. He did this because he wanted to.
And I'll be expecting that check later too, by the way.
Hello, everyone in chat. Thank you for coming and hanging out with us. And Rikostan, thank you for coming up with us and hanging out. Greatly appreciate it.
No problem. These are two of my favorites up here, Robert and Thomas, which is funny because my brother's name is Tom, and my first name, and I go by my middle name, but my first name is Robert. So,
oh, nice.
Oh, yeah.
That's cool.
It's a little bit of a connection there. Oh, and so I was eating dinner right before we jumped on and everything. Not really dinner. I was just eating a snack, actually. It was just a couple bananas, and I thought maybe I would come online and eat them very slowly while making, staring right at you while I'm eating the bananas really slow. But I don't know. I thought that makes some people uncomfortable, so I decided not to.
Hello, Sandy, Dowdy, Muppet, Bob, Priscilla, Dave, J. Elvers. Thanks for showing up.
Muppet Bob.
And Lori.
Sound like you call him Muppet
hello,
Bob.
everyone.
It's like Bob, only a Muppet.
Yeah. And Griff's
That's
like, what question. Did I walk into?
What, Bob, if you were a Muppet, what kind would you be? That's a great question. I'm going to use that.
Yes, it is. That is a good question.
If you were a Muppet, I mean, because, like they do, Kermit's a frog, right? And they're all, they've all sort of based on something, right? Not all of them, but a lot of them. So that's just interesting. If you were a Muppet, what kind would you be? So do we have a topic for tonight, or are we just going to chat?
Well, I'll ask you a few questions.
Okay.
And then we can just chat.
Sounds good.
And then if Robert has any questions for you, he can ask also.
All right.
So the first question I like to ask is, how long have you been in the hobby?
8 months, maybe 9. Pretty close to 9 probably now. Yeah, not long at all. Not long at all.
What do you take from it?
What do I take from it?
Mm-hmm.
What do I get out of the hobby? Oh, that's great. That's great. Just a connection to nature that I no longer get. Because I used to be like, I didn't hunt or anything. I did some fishing, but I used to be a huge outdoors person, camping all the time, hiking all the time. I mean, kayaking. I still try to kayak when I can, but anything to do with the outdoors was always my thing. It's been my hobby since I was, a young kid. And I can't really do that stuff anymore because of health reasons. And I still needed nature around me. So, I started getting into the fish tanks and stuff. So now I've got a big chunk of nature right there by me. Sure, they're in glass cages, but, I can still sit. Like this tank right here, there's nothing in it. I sat and watched it for half an hour today. There's not anything. There's one mystery snail in it. That's it. There's nothing else. And I watched it for half an hour. I just that connection to nature that I'm so missing. And I can look out the window and look at Lake Ontario, and there's an awesome view and stuff, but it's still not there. And now I can at least touch it. I can touch nature, get my hands in the tanks. I can grow plants. So it's really improved my quality of life a lot. My wife even noticed that. After I really got into it, she noticed that I was just a little bit happier with how things are, and it's an outlet. It's therapeutic too. That's the short answer.
I agree with you 100% with that. It's definitely therapeutic. Everybody goes through different stuff in their life, and they can look at a fish tank and be completely happy. Oh, we had a couple more people sneak in on me. Hello, John McKenzie. I think there was another one. John Larson, Mississippi Hippie, Jeffrey Watts. And I can't remember if I said hi to RB. But hello, everybody. Thanks. And Deborah. I think it's Deborah Lewis.
Oh, Priscilla.
Yes, Deborah Lewis.
Hello, everyone, for hanging out with us. And, I just said that backwards. But anyway, hello, everyone, and thank you for hanging out with us. Please excuse me today. I don't have no excuse, but anyway.
Excuse you.
We greatly appreciate it. And if anyone in chat has any questions for Rikostan, please feel free to post them, and we will try to pick them out. And Rikostan, what is your plans in the future, like for your fish room? I mean, like, are you going to be doing like a big like expansion, and also, like, do you have any plans on like keeping certain like bigger type fish other than what you already have?
Well, right now that's sort of up in the air. This is my office. It's a little 15 by 15 room, and it's pretty full because I've got other hobbies too. Like over here, I got my 3D printer, and I've got other stuff in here as well. So I really can't add much more to this room. I can go up a little bit higher, but I already use there's a little step stool right there to get in these tanks. I already have to use a step stool, so I'm not going much higher, So I don't think I'm not going to do anything more in this room as far as adding any tanks or anything like that. There's 9 of them in here altogether, and my biggest is this one right here, 75. But I still have 2 adult children who live at home, and soon to be 3 actually, because my daughter got married. Her husband is a British citizen. He still lives in the UK, and he's working on his citizenship and everything right now. As soon as he comes over, then he'll be here as well. So we're building another area in the basement for them. It's an apartment that's separate door and everything, Once they decide that they want to, move or leave us, then I'm going to take that space and really do up a nice fish room with, automated stuff and probably a few ponds and things like that. So I do have plans to build like a real fish room in the future, but that could be, years from now. I honestly don't know. I'm not in any hurry for the kids to leave. I love having them at home. So I'm good with that trade-off. As far as keeping bigger fish, no plans at all right now for any bigger fish. The biggest ones I want to keep, and Skipper's right with me on this one, is the roseline barbs. I mean, what they get like 4 inches. That's about it as far as size. Right around that 4-inch mark is probably going to be the biggest ones that I keep. And again, that's partly because of the limitation of the room, right? If I had more space, I would get those bigger ones. But right now, I think that the bigger fish just means that I can have less types of fish, right? You know what I'm saying? You can't. You're not going to fit, 6 different type of large fish in a 75, where I can keep, 6 to 8 different types of fish in there with no problem. So yes and no.
Yeah, it's I'm definitely right there with you with that too, because I mean, it's not really just more of not having the space. It's just I would rather keep more of others than having one big old fish. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
Jeffrey Watts. Oh yeah. Jeffrey Watts said Tennessee Aqua asked Rikostan if he has plans on taking the Loctite system global.
Hey, if it sells, maybe we'll no limits. We we need more testers too, Jeffrey. So if you're interested in testing, let me know. I don't know. For anybody who doesn't know, that was a stupid little video I made about a device to hold you in your chair, and we'll leave it at that. But I thought it was funny. I was just being dumb. I enjoy lowbrow humor. I enjoy stupid humor, and stuff that's usually inappropriate for YouTube in general, unless it's like 2:00 in the morning. So too busy sitting on
Hello, Furlough. So I know you used to be an IT guy. Is that the only job you ever done, or?
Oh no! I mean, geez, before I was an IT guy. I mean, I had all kind. I did fast food. I was a what's called a stucco hottie, not HOTTIE, but HODDIE, stucco hottie. So you mix up the mud, you put it in the wheelbarrow, and then you take it up the scaffolding to the guys putting the mud. That's when I lived in Arizona. So I did that. I did some trim work, finishing. I worked for years as a green grocer. I was actually a produce manager for a chain of stores in Arizona called Bash's. They have Wegmans in your area, don't they, Skipper?
Up in State College, about an hour away. Yeah.
Wegmans was actually started not far from where I live now, and they're a lot like Bash's. It's family owned. The stores even look a lot alike. It's the same type of thing. A little bit upscale. They've got some decent stuff. But I worked for the Bash's chain of grocery stores as a produce manager for 8 years, I think. And I was a floating manager. So when a manager went on vacation, I would go to a store and run it for the week that he was off, or 2 weeks. Or if they fired a manager for whatever reason, I would go to the store and clean it up and make sure it was so I was like the hired gun. So yeah, produce manager was pretty cool. That's sort of where I honed my customer service skills that I took with me into IT, because a lot of IT guys are a little awkward, right? A lot of us are just geeks. We're just awkward dealing with people, but I don't have that problem. I really, really enjoy dealing with people. And that was always my strong point in IT, was if we had a trouble person, that I was the one that always took care of them. I could always get people to calm down and, realize we're there for them and that kind of stuff. So I know how to say F you and have you say thank you for saying it. That's what customer service is all about.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's about it, though. I mean, I was an IT guy for more than 25 years. That's what I retired from, was IT work.
Okay.
Bob, all the mods in chat.
With you right now, but
I missed it. What's going on?
Thank you, all the mods in chat. Greatly appreciate it.
A great cowboy. Patty's always on a roll.
Oh yeah, she is. How many tanks do you currently have up and running?
I have 9 of them up and running. One of them is a little 5-gallon. It has nothing in it except some plants. I need to get some more female CPDs, because I only had the one. I only have one out of I don't know. I have 6 or 7 of them, and one is a female. I want to get a couple more females and try and breed the CPD. So there's nothing in there except for a plant. Well, quite a bit of plants. And then, yeah, I've got 9 other ones total. And like I said, another one's a 5-gallon. It's over here next to me, which it's mostly shrimp and 1 male guppy in it. And then I've got 2 20s, a 29, 2 45 talls, a 55, and a 75. And everything's got something in it except for that little 5-gallon. Oh.
Do you keep any cichlids of any type right now?
Not yet. I'm probably going to buy some crebensis from Jess. Manes, tails, furs, and fins. Probably going to buy some from her. That's the closest thing. I don't mind cichlids, but and I know a lot of them do well with planted tanks and with hard water, but those are my focuses. I love a heavily planted tank. I just absolutely love it. And again, I know that some of the cichlids are fine with planted tanks, but it just hasn't been a focus. I don't think I'm going to really get into them. I mean, not too heavy.
Yeah, I mean, I actually, well, I just recently got into keeping pistos,
Yes.
and like I had a pair, but my male, I don't know what happened to him. I don't know if he died or what happened, but anyway, I can't find him. But anyway, I've been dabbing in well into that species, whatever, But I tried the African cichlids at first, and man, they just want to kill each other all the time. Seems like.
I do really like those Epistos, and I was on the fence about either those or crebensis in this 75. So I'm putting rose lines in there, but then crebensis will be the secondary fish, and then some Cory. So I'm going to get some orange laser Cory cats and some. I haven't decided on the pleco yet. I haven't decided. I want to get a long fin variety of pleco. I haven't decided on that. And then I also haven't decided. I want to get a small school of like cherry barbs or some type of barb or a tetra, a smaller one to round it out. Bob, you got the fever, Rikostan. I do, definitely. I do. I love the hobby. I'm having a lot of fun with it, and I'm having a lot of fun with the YouTube part of the hobby as well. I've only been streaming and making videos really since December, and I just love it. I'm hooked on that aspect of the hobby as well. And I interrupted you.
I do not know what I was going to say, to be honest with you. But yes, as far as the whole planet tank, I mean, that's my deal as well. I love a planet tank.
Yeah. For some reason, this 55 here just doesn't like plants, and I'm not sure what's. I can put the same plants in other tanks and it does better. I don't know if it's just that light. It's a Phoenix Stingray. So I was trying to get, low to medium plants, and it just something about, I do everything the same in all the other tanks, and like my Pogostemen, it grows so fast. I just trimmed some out of the 45 tall today, and it was probably, it had to be close to 4 foot long. It's just massive.
Ooh.
Because those 45 talls are a tall tank, right? And it was just totally bent over. I didn't realize it was all one plant. It was huge. And I put it in the 55 there, and it just doesn't like it. I don't know. Again, I do everything the same in all the tanks, and it does great in other tanks, but not that one. Not sure what's up with that.
Yeah, I mean, that is odd because those Phoenix lights are supposed to be really, really good lights. I mean,
well, you can see it's probably hard here, but that's just one of those Hyger lights that's in this one. It is. I got one right brighter. Here. I like it. I've got like 3 of them now. It's quite a bit brighter than the Phoenix that's over here. Even if you look at just the base, there's like a rock in here, and it's bright and lit up, and then this one, it's just not. And this, they have the same amount of cover on the top and everything. A lot of awesome people coming in. 36 people here. Nice.
Oh, nice. You brought them in here, Rikostan. Thank you.
Yeah, you guys. You guys put on a good show. I always miss it though, because weekends are bad for me. Just like with Carrie's show, I miss it so often. I always have to hit the replay.
Yeah.
You know, because my wife is home. So even though we've been together for 30 years, she's my favorite person. So I try to spend time with her on the weekends, you know. So it's hard. I miss Friday nights, Saturday, most of the day, and Sunday, I miss all of them. She gave me permission today. She's like, "Oh, it's Skipper. You go do that."
Well, tell her that we said thank you.
She had to go to her grandpa's anyway, so it worked out perfect.
You know, like speaking of live streams, did Carrie live stream? And I say that because because I tried to find her live stream and I could not find it.
Yeah, she had a great one with Susie Q on it today. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Well,
before this one.
I mean, well, then something's wrong. Then, as far as on my end, you know, as far as like the bell goes, I'll be I mean, because like, see now, like today, I did subscribe to her, but like this whole time, I thought that I was already subscribed to her, and then at the time, you know, I was trying to find her live stream. You know, I didn't see nothing live, but I did see her videos, you know, and I clicked on one that I seen, you know, that I wasn't subscribed. Well, pineappled, sorry, and that I pineappled her, and then afterwards, you know, I could not see nothing. So that's why I asked. I'm gonna have to look into that.
I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at what Patty said there. Mrs. Rikostan got that beast under control. Take note, gentlemen. Yeah, that's weird. The YouTube does weird stuff like that though all the time. You know, as far as that's the first thing I was gonna ask was did it unsubscribe you again? You know, because it's happened to me so many times. Seems like every 6 months or so. Jacob's Aquatic.
Yeah.
You changed your name.
Yes, he changed it last night, I believe.
Oh, okay.
In the middle of the stream.
Oh, well, hey.
Yeah, she had Susan on, and then Susan will be next after me at 7.
And isn't there somebody at 8 as well? And then Kenny's at 9 Eastern time.
Well, that person at 8, yeah, he'll be on.
Oh yeah, I know. that guy at 9, he's a jerk.
and then at 9 o'clock, is it 9 o'clock? I think Kenny. And
that's the thumbnail that Bob. The thumbnail that you have for tonight's Bob, that was great. I looked at that and just started laughing. He reminds me of E.T. in that picture.
Yeah,
Bob got Dan's fish on tonight. So 2 of my favorite people there too, both awesome gentlemen, and that you just got a great thumbnail, Bob. He's got that smile, and he just looks like E.T. to me for some reason.
And then Griffin is at 10.
And unfortunately, Griff goes all the time late, and I always miss his because I'm usually sleeping by then, 10 o'clock. I'm an old man.
Hello, Melvin.
Did Griffin go last night?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because like this morning I got up and I was looking through my YouTube videos, whatever, and I seen that like he streamed, but
yeah, he did.
What time was it?
After Pam last night, we did a 2-hour show. It was like 1, 2 o'clock, I think. I don't know. I got off at 12. I was beat.
Yeah. I went to bed myself.
So you were saying backstage, hey, you can fire me. I don't care. Ain't gonna hurt my feelings. But he should know better. So you're thinking about trying to do some summer tubbing?
Yeah, I want to do it this year. We actually want to build a pond. That's probably not going to happen this year. We just have too much others. We're replacing windows right now. We have 32 of them to replace. So,
oh boy.
And it's not a big house. It's only a 1,500 square foot house, so, but we just have a lot of windows. So that's because we live on the lake, you want to see the lake. Yeah, we want to do a real pond with a whole water feature with a waterfall and everything. But I think this year I'm just going to get some tubs, the pond liner plastic tub type thing, and just try it out. I'm thinking just the guppies. Like I said, I have a bunch of cull guppies. I thought I would throw them out there and see what I get out of it. Just get used to the time frames and what I need to do. I think that I'll probably still have to put a heater in there because we stay pretty cool. Even in the middle of July, we'll have a lot of nights that are in the 50s. So I suppose if I put something like the what are they called? The minnows. The trying to think of my tongue. Yes, I don't know why I couldn't say that. Maybe if I went with something like those or the rice fish or something, I wouldn't have to worry about it. But I think with the guppies in there, it's just a little too cold, even in the middle of summer. So I'll probably have to heat it. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to checking it out. And I'm worried about what kind of screen to put over the top of it though, because I can just see them getting. We have bald eagles that come in the backyard. Even they're not going to be interested in guppies probably, but we get a lot of birds. So I'm going to definitely have to cover it with something that's a good size.
It depends on how big you're going. They got them goldfish nets that you can buy. A lot of places that sell pond stuff normally have them. Like your Lowe's or Home Depot, that section of ponds, I believe they have it too.
Yeah, I'll have to check it out. And again, first year, it's my learning time. This is the year I put together just something small just to get my feet wet. And my fish tanks asked if I was in Arizona. No, I did live in Arizona for a very long time, but I'm in upstate New York, again, right on Lake Ontario. It's right out the window there. Hi. Lake says hi. Sorry, I won't talk.
Yeah, Jay Bout got me.
We'll see you, Jacob.
Thank you, Jacobs. Wow, we got another half hour to go.
You make that sound like, geez, I don't want to talk to this guy for another half an hour. We got half an hour to fill. What are we doing? Come on, people ask some questions.
Yeah, for real. Holy crap. My brain ain't working today.
Jay, know something? I think it was like 2 or 3 days ago. But like, when I was at work and I was heading to the job, these people were parked on the side of the road, and like they was selling a bunch of stuff, whatever. Well, anyway, when I stopped in, they had a box of a bunch of comic books, and like, at the time, that they didn't seem like that, like they was in like a real good, like great condition or whatever, and but I was just gonna would find out, like what kind of comic books are you into, like as far as like your with your favorite superheroes, so that way, like next time I come across something like that, then I can pick them up for you.
That's awesome. Thanks for thinking of me. But these days I don't read a lot of superhero type comics anymore. I read more, sci-fi, fantasy type stuff. But I love all the big ones, Deadpool and Wolverine and stuff like that. I wouldn't spend a lot of money on stuff unless it's older than the 90s. If it's something from the 80s or back, if they've got a box of 100 of them for $10, okay, that's okay. But stuff that was made in the 90s was just way overproduced. It was just like with sports cards. There was a ton of sports cards. A lot of the sports cards from the 90s aren't worth the cardboard that they're printed on. So it's just not a good idea to buy them unless you're just wanting to read them, right? If it's for collecting. Anything from 80s back, though, it's worth it to, if they're wanting 50 cents, $1 a book, it's worth it to buy a big batch of that. You never know what you're going to get, but I'm interested in pretty much, I read everything. If you want to send me comic books, I'll take them. It's what I'm saying.
Okay.
I like pretty much everything, and I enjoy comics, just having them around. I've got one sitting here right next to me right now. Always been a big comic book guy, but especially in the last decade, as I've sort of rediscovered that type of thing. So I see a question there from Mr. McKenzie. As a YouTube influencer, I don't know that I'd call myself that, but what are your end goals? I want to have some fun. I want to do stuff like this. I want to hang out with people like Robert and Tom and all the people in the chat. I want to just have fun. I want to get to know people. I want to help people out. I do that Tuesday interview stream, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And my goal there is to help smaller channels, which I am a smaller channel, right? I don't even know how many subs I have, 330 or something like that. I want to help channels that, I want to get to 1,000, 2,000, whatever, just to help those channels that are my size, 200, 300, get some extra views on those ones and give back. Because I don't, again, 8 months, I don't have a lot of experience keeping fish to share with people, but I've gotten so much information and camaraderie and just so much from the fish fam that it's the only way I can really give back. I mean, I do super chats and, all that as much as I can. But it's my way of giving back. So my goal is just to get to a decent size so I have that clout that I can really push some views to those smaller channels.
Thank you. Yeah, it is.
What I've done talking, most of the time people are just like,
We got Aqua Balls, Punchy Paint showed up. Thank you for coming.
Hi, Pam. Hey, George. Good to see you. I didn't say hi to Melvin.
Buffalo showed up, Larry.
Buffalo is not too far from us. That's about a 3-hour drive, maybe four.
When you were saying about Wegmans, that was the first one I went to, was the one in Buffalo. And I was like in heaven whenever I walked in there.
It's a nice place. And again, it's pretty cool that it was started in Rochester, New York. It's nice when something local makes it big, like we have.
Mm-hmm.
Have you heard of a Hell of a Good cheese, or the cheese spreads? Hell of a Good. Oh, it's in a lot of the, I think Walmart sells it now. I mean, but it was very, very localized. My wife's grandpa, when he retired, he didn't really retire. He just took over one of the factories, and it was right here. They made all the cheese and stuff. That's very local. But then they got bought out. And I mean, they used to have a cheese store here that you could go to. Just amazing. There was probably 150 different types of cheeses that they made, So it's all very, very local. I love that kind of stuff. And I love seeing them make it and get big and all of a sudden they're nationwide, Hey, I know them, that kind of thing.
Absolutely. I thought I saw the question. Danny said, I don't like DC because it's unrelatable.
I don't know.
I mean, like as far as comic books, I that's something that I've never got the chance to get into. I mean, it ain't like I don't like it or nothing. Just I guess I just never. I guess I had one. I guess.
I remember when I was. I wasn't in kindergarten yet. Well, I didn't go to kindergarten back then. They didn't make you. It was voluntary. It was like preschool So I had to be, I don't know, 5, 6 years old, and one of the neighbor people came by and asked me if I like comics, and I was like, I don't know. And then he brought me a big box of comics that his grandkids no longer wanted. And it was like Casper the Friendly Ghost. I mean, we were talking late 60s, you know, so there was just a lot of really, really old stuff. I wish I would have kept those, but that's how I got into it originally. Was he gave me this huge box of comics, and I was, you know, I got into them big time, and then I left them just like aquariums. When I was a kid, I actually had quite a few aquariums, and nothing bigger than a 20-gallon. That was the biggest tank I ever had until recently. But I kept guppies, and I remember angelfish, and I had Alodia was the only plant I had because it did well with the cheap lighting that we had at the time. You know, I got hooked back then, and then around the same time I stopped reading comics, I also stopped dealing with aquariums. So it was sort of nice to get back into both of those things for my childhood. I guess I'm regressing. You know, another few years, I'll be able to just wear a diaper again, you know, so that's cool.
Well, I mean, like, you know, like, I have been told that, like, you are once a man and twice a kid. So,
Yeah.
so I mean, you know, that's what I've been told my whole life anyway. So,
well, that second childhood is coming up quick.
Yeah, it definitely does. Time flies.
And we will all be there, whether we like it or not.
Yeah, I want to say something about the chat there real quick. Mike's getting that ball python on Wednesday, I think, or Thursday. So hope you do a hope you do a video on that, Mike. Looking forward to that.
Yes, absolutely.
That all depends. Tom McKenzie said, speaking of adult diapers.
Yeah.
Buffalo said that my parents.
I noticed something in the background of you.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Skipper.
Go ahead.
No, Joe, go ahead.
I noticed something in the back. Okay, I noticed something in the background of you that Deadpool had. And it looks like it's looking through your.
Yep.
Yeah, that's definitely giving us a stink eye.
Yep, I had it turned, so it was like looking out this way, and I was like, you know what, that'd be cool. I'll just turn it. It's a penny bank, you know. It's got change in it, so it's friggin' heavy. But I turned it, so yeah, it was looking right at us. And what was really cool, I did a stream a while back. I don't remember which night, if it was an interview, or I think it was the Geek Out with Ed. You know, Ed and I do that Monday night thing where we talk comic books and stuff. My kids were actually messing around and flipping the light off in the hallway there over and over again. And my daughter, she put on a mask and she was just standing in the doorway. And I didn't notice any of it. They were doing all kinds of crazy shit back there, and I didn't see any of it. I had to go back and look at the stream again and watch it to see all the stuff they were doing. And again, they're adults. But they don't fall too far from the tree.
Where's that? I was going to read Buffalo Photo. I probably said that wrong, but I apologize. But
No, you got it.
They said that my parents gave me an allowance of 50 cents every week to buy 25-cent comics in the late 60s and early 70s.
Yeah. I do remember even in the 70s going to the now again, that was Arizona at the time, so going to the 7-Eleven, getting a Slurpee, a pack of Star Wars cards, and maybe a comic book, and it'd be like, I don't know, $3, you know.
And Jay Oliver said, I hope everyone is having a great weekend. Yes, Jay, thank you very much, and we hope you are too.
Mr. Oliver has some very cool unpacking videos from his business with all those different fish. He gets some huge orders of fish in. My favorite artist, Lunatic Fringe, had one there. I hope you guys don't mind me just grabbing one.
No, sure, go ahead.
No, that's fine.
I don't think I have a favorite artist, Chewy. That's hard for me, and I have a really hard time with any genre when somebody says, what's your top 5 favorite movies or books or music? I love a ton of that stuff. I can never give a top 5 at all. So I enjoy a lot of different artists. In fact, I enjoy most of the artists. I'm such a poor artist myself that it's like magic to me to see somebody like when Priscilla does her streams and Pam, when they're doing the streams and they're drawing or doing something while they're doing the stream. It's like magic. It's the fact that they can just put that stuff down on paper like that. It just always amazes me. So I don't think I could even name a favorite artist in comic books. My current favorite comic is called Atomic Robo, and I don't see it right now. I actually have a little stuffed robot head. It's back here somewhere. I don't know what I did with it. But Atomic Robo is my favorite comic currently. It's an indie one. I just absolutely love it. I don't know. Yeah, I don't have one sitting here next to me. So Brian, Scott Wegner is the artist for that. So maybe he's my favorite artist right now because that comic is my favorite. There we go.
Priscilla.
Yesterday we actually climbed up the little bluffs by us over here, which is nice, because I used to do a little bit of rock climbing and stuff, but the only sense I have now is when I eat too much chili, ass sense. ass sense.
I know what you mean on that one. And it ain't good either.
So it was nice. So my wife was like, come outside. I was like, because I don't go anywhere these days. I, partly because of what we're in, and being retired, I don't have to go anywhere. But I don't, even before the current issue, I didn't leave the house that often. Usually on the weekend, I would go maybe do some shopping with her. My one friend in the area has moved away. So I don't get out a whole lot. So it was nice to be able to go up there to the bluffs. I even made a little quick video of it. Pretty nice view from the top of the bluffs. You can see Lake Ontario. You see the whole thing. You can actually see Canada if you go off to the right a little more, but and it's 30 miles away. It's 31 miles from that point to a point of Canada that sticks out into the lake.
That's cool.
Does it you and bottom dwellers, you guys are somewhat in the same area, right?
Yes. He's probably 2 to 3 hours from me. Maybe I would probably say about 2 hours from me. The Farrell family, Brianne and all of them, they live in upstate New York. They're on the other side of the Adirondacks from me, which is, it's quite a drive. They live in a beautiful area too. Tim, I think he changed his name. I think it's just called Tim's Fish Room now. Tim lives in the area. Buffalo Photo and Fish Room, backwards, the HSIF, they live in Buffalo. Patty's in the area somewhere. Dank Tanks is not too far away. All In Tanks, although we haven't seen them much lately. It was Tiffany and Ozzy. They've gone through some hardships, and we haven't really seen much of them lately. But they live in Rochester. They're probably actually the closest. They're probably about an hour and 15 minutes from me. So there's actually quite a few, and I haven't met any of them, but there are quite a few that live, within a decent hour or two drive from me.
Oh, nice. Rikostan, Chewy has a question for you. It says, I grew up with Spawn's creator, Todd McFarlane. Are you
Yeah.
Familiar with his DC or Marvel work?
I don't remember who he drew before he split off on his own, but I do remember him, and I know he worked for Image too, I believe, right? I believe he did Image Comics too in the 90s. I could be wrong about that, but yeah, I'm definitely familiar with Todd McFarlane, but I'm drawing a blank on the different stuff he did, and he's definitely a great artist too.
Yeah, I remember whenever I was a kid, I used to get into the comics myself, but I never really would follow. I would just read it. I don't remember artists and stuff like that, like what a lot of people do. I never really got into trying to remember all that stuff.
I could see
did you read that comment?
I could see when Robert read Bottom Dwellers Aquatics. I saw right when you read that comment there.
Yeah. I can't help it. Oh my goodness.
But I pee in the lake that he swims in. I'm sure a bunch of people do.
Yeah.
The good thing is there's plenty of water there.
Yes. That's just like one of those subjects that you try not to think about when you're out there swimming, is how much people actually do that.
Yeah, but when you're in a pool, it's a little different, even though you got the chemicals. But when you're in a lake that's called the Great Lake, and it's one of the biggest 15 lakes in the world, you don't worry about it too much. There's a lot of water there. There's a lot of water.
Kenny and Patrick, hello.
Gentlemen.
Vanoski, hello.
Hi, Kenny. Hi, Patrick.
And all the other people that came in, that snuck in, and I missed, hello, and hope everyone is having a great night or day, depending on where you're at. And thank you so much for hanging out with us. And after us is Miss Susie Q Aquatics. Please go check her out.
She is awesome, and I got to go to one of the stores that she did a thing on. So we have, I forgot, also another YouTuber, although she doesn't do too much YouTube these days, but Bob interviewed her, Cassie's Critters. She actually works at a store called Country Max, which is, they have them in your area, Skipper? The Country Max? They
don't hear.
Okay, yeah, they're not very widespread, but they're like a Tractor Supply type place. But this one has a lot of plants and fish and different stuff. And Susie Q did a stream there, or not a stream, but did a video about it. And then I got to go the same place. So that was sort of cool. That was the first time I went to a place that another YouTuber had mentioned, so it was sort of neat to go.
Maple Street Aquatics, hello. Thank you for joining us.
Another person with some very cool original stuff.
Yeah, you got some good native tanks, he does.
Yeah, very cool.
Yes.
Chewy mentioned who Todd McFarlane worked for, and Frank Miller is a great writer. I do like Frank Miller's work, like Sin City and stuff. Love him. Also, Warren Ellis is probably my favorite comic book writer. He's done a lot of different stuff. Most of the stuff he does these days is all his own. But he actually wrote Castlevania for Netflix. I don't know if anybody saw that. It was a pretty cool show. They actually stopped it because Mr. Ellis ran into some problems with how he was treating women. So we'll leave it at that. But if you get a chance, check out Castlevania on Netflix. Good stuff.
Okay. I'll have to check them out. And we have another one popped in here. Aristotle, hello. And BDA, Bottom Dwellers Aquatics, said something else to you, Rikostan. Oh, the pee is the last thing to worry about in the lake. Lots, laugh out loud. It's the big fish that nobody knows about that I'd be scared of.
And Patty said, "Good thing you got no lure, BDA."
Lunatic said Todd can't write, but is an amazing artist. He also done Superman 2. He gave me a drawing of Superman for a birthday one year.
Very cool. I love those types of one-off type things. I have a couple of those from the Atomic Robo people. Even the artist or the writer, he drew something, and he can't draw. I can draw just as well as he can, and that's pretty bad. But it was he drew stick figures. So it was sort of neat though that the writer also did that kind of stuff. My daughter actually got to meet the writer and the artist at the Comic-Con in New York City 4 years ago. I can't remember. It's actually probably been longer than that. She got to go to Comic-Con. My wife went with her, and they got to meet a lot of different people. And another guy I really like is, what's his name? Claudio. He's the lead singer of Coheed and Cambria, which is a progressive metal band that I really like. And they're from upstate New York as well, from Kingston. But he also did some comics. Coheed and Cambria is very interesting because their music is all the albums are they're all based on a sci-fi story that Claudio is writing. So there's this big overarching story that ties all the songs together, and they're all part of this big long story. It's really cool. If you're into sci-fi and you're a geek, that's it's right up your alley. And the music's great. They've got like a classic rock sound to them, like Rush and Zeppelin and stuff. Little Pink Floyd sound in there. Coheed and Cambria, very cool band.
Okay, I'll have to check them out too. I need to write that down.
If you like progressive metal, here I'll because the spelling's weird, I'll put it in the chat for you.
Okay, thank you. What did I do with my pen?
Yeah, keep getting kicked off, so I'm just going.
Your connection's not too good tonight, huh?
Well, you're good on my end.
Because it's real windy. Yeah,
you're good on my end. Oh.
Did you guys? You said a tornado came through or something the other day, Skipper? Did you guys have any actual damage or anything, or was it just winds? Was it an actual tornado?
No, it was just high winds.
Oh, okay.
I had my window open when it came up through town. It sounded like a freight train. But other than that, no, we didn't have that happen.
That's good. That's good.
Thank God.
Yeah, we average 3 a year here in New York. So we get the microburst more often. So it's not like the Midwest, where they're Oklahoma, where they're getting 3 a week sometimes.
Yeah, it's crazy out there. So what's your favorite fish right now that you're keeping?
What I currently have, oh man, that's hard. I like the Bosemani rainbows a lot. I watch them a lot, but those pea puffers also. Oh man, I'm gonna probably say the pea puffers. They edge out the Bosemanis by just a little bit. I love the Bosemanis too, though. So that they're in a 55, and I have the light on a timer, and it comes on in the morning for a little bit for like 3 hours, and it goes off for a couple hours and comes back on. And that second time it comes back on, they always color up so nicely. And they're still they're not really juveniles now. They're about a year old because I've had them since August, so they're right about a year old. Chewy said, my favorite writer is Neil Gaiman, who did the Sandman series. Love Sandman series. Love all of his stuff. And I actually have the Sandman omnibus. It's the things like this big, it's massive, and just an amazing comic there. And they're making a show, or I think it's a TV show about that, right? Man, why does this light keep going out? What'd you do?
Kenny said that Danny will be on with him tonight, that she is feeling much better. That is awesome, Kenny. Great news. Good. And hello, Big J.
Big J.
Trying to see if I missed any questions here. We have about 4 minutes left, so like if there's anyone in here that would like to ask Rikostan a question, please go ahead and state it now.
Or forever hold your peace.
Go now. Too late. Did I mention when I was going to stock with the 75? I'm happy with what I landed on. I don't remember if I talked about it.
I don't think you did.
No. We talked about it in Jesse's stream, I think, but that one time you popped up.
Yeah. So I'm going with Roseline barbs. I would love to get the golds, but I doubt I'm going to get those. I just don't think they're going to be around. So the Roseline barbs, thinking about 6 of those. I'm going to get 6 crebensis from Jess, probably. I'm pretty sure I'm going to get them from her. I'm going to do some orange laser cories. Have you seen those guys?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, they are gorgeous. And to be honest with you, I would love to have some myself.
They are so
but
cool.
I have yet to see them in the stores around me. So
Aquahuna has them for a decent price.
Neighbor.
Okay. I'll check them out.
So I'm going to get 6 of those. And then I'm also going to get a long fin pleco, but I haven't nailed down which long fin pleco yet. And then I'm also going to do another little school of either cherry barbs or a tetra, a smaller tetra, maybe even just neon or cardinals. I haven't decided yet, but that'll round it out. So I thought that was a pretty good combination. There's a lot of different colors. The crebensis like the bottom more, so they won't mess with the rose lines, and even when they're breeding and getting aggressive and stuff. So I think it's going to be an awesome tank to watch.
Well, as far as the tetra goes, I don't have any myself, but I definitely would love to get some. But I mean, this is just an ideal. But I was thinking like maybe rummy nose tetras. Would you like them? Maybe.
Yep, love them. I don't know, because they sort of have the same markings a little bit as the rose lines. You know what I mean? Just a little bit. There's some commonality there that are maybe I don't know that I want to put them in the same. What's Skipper shaking his head?
It's you got to get the platinum ones.
Gotcha.
If you get the platinum roses, I used to have some. They pop way more than the regular rummy nose tetras.
Well, there you go. So I will take a look at those and see. I am sort of stuck on the cherry barbs. I just love the way they look, but I currently only have one type of tetra. So if I'm going to put roseline barbs in there, then maybe a tetra. And I see, if you're looking for a rare tetra, try the Morse code. I don't care too much about rare or original because again, I'm so new to the hobby that everything's new to me. And I'm the one that's going to be looking at them and taking care of them. So I'm really not looking to find that rare fish or that hard to take care of fish or anything like that. I'm just looking for something that I enjoy watching and taking care of.
Absolutely. Oh, and real quick, because I know it's 7 o'clock, but I seen a question for you, Rikostan, and I don't know if you answered or not, but it said it's by Melvin Reap. It said, so Rikostan, are you planning on doing saltwater or any brackish water tanks in the future?
Currently, no, but that'll change again, and this is sort of the same idea as what we were just talking about. Because I'm so new, there's so much for me to do still with fresh water. I haven't even scratched the surface of the different stuff, and because I'm limited on space, until I actually build the fish room downstairs, I don't have any current plans to do salt water. That could change in a week, but right now I don't have any plans for that.
and I 100% agree with you, Rikostan, on that, because I consider myself as a novice aquarist, so to speak.
Yeah. How long have
But
you
it
been,
is fun.
How long have you been keeping fish then?
Well, I mean, like, I have kept fish, like off and on, ever since I think I was like 6 years old.
Mm.
But believe it or not, this past year that I've been on YouTube has been the first year that I actually got into as big as I have, and to be honest with you, I mean, like, there's still so much that I need to learn.
Yeah.
But I have learned so much from the fish family itself,
Yeah.
from watching all the videos, that it's unbelievable. I mean, like, this is for example, in the past, like, I had smaller tanks, and I did have a saltwater tank at one time, but that lasted about 7 months and everything died because of I didn't know the whole detail about, like, changing water and nitrates and all of that jazz. I mean,
Yeah.
so, like, but now, you know what I mean, that if I was to do another saltwater tank, considering that I know how to mix the salt and stuff as before, I would do a lot better. But anyway,
Gotcha.
I'm still a novice.
And I know we're probably running over, so I'll just say this real quick. I just, thank you to the Fish Fam. You guys are incredible. I've learned so much from watching videos and all the knowledge that you've shared. It really has, I don't know, it's just amazing how much knowledge is out there. And really, you're doing it for free in most cases. So I really just want to say thank you to everybody for all the awesome stuff that you guys put out.
And I want to thank everybody.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Say thanks everybody for coming here tonight. Go over to Susie Q's and keep it going with her. And she has a pretty awesome stream, so go over there and watch her. Thanks everybody for showing up today.
See you guys. Thanks everybody.
Y'all have a good night.